Ah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Turn off one of these here. Oh, not that one. There. That. So, just wanted to share with you guys something amazing that happened to me today. It was a random act of kindness, in my own opinion. Earlier when I was doing salah for Azr, there was a lady that came up to me, and she was very kind, and it felt good to me because, she told me, she watched me pray, and you know, the whole conversation was just very welcoming. For once, when I prayed salah today, I didn't feel like I had to step on eggshells just so I wouldn't offend somebody. She let me feel welcome. Uh, Part of it is a lot of times, I feel like whenever I go out to pray, a lot of people, it used to be different. I mean, when before my own current faith, I used to be able to, pray a rosary, and I used to be able to hold my Bible around. Nobody said anything. But now, when I bow, you know, and I face toward the Mecca and I do salah, it's like everybody sometimes, not everybody, that would be a lie. Forgive me, Mr. You know, it seems like there's just a lot of people that have issues with it, and it's a path that I've chosen, so it's something that I knew was probably going to happen at one way or another, but I just wanted to say, it felt really good to hear this lady come to me. It reminded me that that there are people out there that like me for being me, you know. And so my big shout out here is, you know, I just want to say thank you to that particular lady, and I also want to say thank you to anybody that went out and made somebody feel welcome somewhere today. Maybe you opened up your home to, a complete stranger, and you let them, in there, and you gave them food to eat, put food in their belly, and made them feel welcome. I want to say thank you. Because I'm not going to lie, sometimes you go out there and it's like that movie, The Green Mile, where John Coffey tells Paul Edgecombe, like, you know, he gets so tired, of seeing people being ugly to each other. Every now and again, it's kind of nice to see it when people aren't so ugly to each other. One of the last times I did salah, for I think it was Azar. At the place earlier where this lady met me, about a week beforehand, I was doing salah, and there was a gentleman who walked right up and sat in front of me just to make sure that I wouldn't finish prayer, just so that he could remind me that, if I really want to be saved, that I need to accept his God, and I don't know, it's those kind of actions that made me walk away, from that particular path that I was on, that part of my life, mainly because, when I go through and I do my prayers, it's always been, just certain people of that nature that seem to have an issue with me praying salah. Sometimes they might have an issue with me wearing a kufi. I don't really know, but at the same time, the way that I look at that, that gentleman, he had his reasons for doing it, I suppose, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that it was a welcoming place for me. I had to walk out of, one of the churches because I was told that I could not do salah out front there, I was asked to do in some place where nobody else could see me, which, you know, at the same time is not necessarily a bad thing, you know, I mean, and also church is not it's not a place for me to be doing salah anyway. But at the same time, you know, it kind of hurts me every time something like that happens, because it's this reminder that, you know, Raymond, you're on this one path. You don't get to pray with these guys anymore. It feels like, you know, it feels like, you know, my door to that particular world has just been slammed shut in my face, you know. The moment I became Muslim is the moment that, you know, I lost even family members. Like, you know, I have an uncle that just, you know, throws the Bible at me and reminds me that, you know, uh my current affiliation, you know, is not going to save me. His affiliation will. And I don't know, I cannot find myself to do it, you know. I had to find my own way. Just like King David, you know, when he went to battle Goliath, you know, the king gave him this suit of armor. He gave him a sword. He told him, you know, I want you to use this armor and this sword when you go fight Goliath, because he's huge. He's like 10 feet tall. But David refused. He rebuked that armor, you know, because he couldn't do it any other way except for his way, you know. He grabbed his little bag of brats and he went out there and he shot Goliath right in between the eyes, you know. And then that's how I kind of feel about my own path, you know. Like, I can't really dog on one particular faith or another, you know. But at the same time, the only thing I know is the road that I'm on is indicative and it's personal to me. And, you know, I want to say thank you to that lady for making me feel welcome. It reminded me that it's okay to be me, you know. And I want to remind you guys that it's okay to be you, you know. No matter what faith you are, it's okay to be you, you know. I mean, even if you don't have a faith, you know, I love you. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. All that being said, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm out. You all have a great night. Layla Saeed.